cars that can fly. Which one is the most advanced yet? The world brightest engineers are racing to make science fiction-esque flying cars a reality. Although they are not yet ready to fly, they are more optimistic that they're getting very close. While we wait to take our first Sky Shuttle, we're taking a look at the companies that have taken this huge step in making flying cars. 10. Aeromobile's prototype. Aeromobile, which is based in Slovakia, remains committed to releasing a functioning flying car that it refers to as a supercar. The individuals say that they are on a fourth prototype, depicting the seriousness of the matter.lls. The car industry has a lot of concept art to show the car in its final form. It's revealed that it is one of the more notable hybrid models in the works, and not like a gasoline-electric powertrain. Compared to true VTOLs, hybrid flying cars are made to take off from a runway the way a plane does, but also have the ability to change to a vehicle to drive on the road. This system requires retractable wheels and wings, along with a very efficient drivetrain. Aeromobile is working day and night in the development of an electric powertrain. The company has integrated with organizations like Starburst and Aerospace Accelerator to aid in the manufacturing first test flight that was to happen in 2020 changed, and they are still waiting for an update on this project. 9. Kitty Hawk's flying prototype. This is another much-awaited car, and CEO Sebastian Thrun said it was as easy to use like playing Minecraft. However, the project was axed in June 2020 because the company learned what it needed from it. The company is now focusing on a larger winged aircraft named Haviside with a 100-mile range and a 180 mph top speed. It will be able to fly over cities, according to TechCrunch, but there's no telling when we'll see it in action. 8. Airbus Vahana. This project from Airbus seeks to create an electric VTOL aircraft that can fly on its own. However, there are a lot of advantages to the self-piloting model. This includes saving costs when it comes to hiring and training pilots. Foreign software engineers already have plenty of experience creating autopilot systems for larger planes that can be applied to these VTOLs. The company also has an ideal way to run a taxi service, since the vehicles automatically return to centers for maintenance or take a different route based on current orders. The first successful full-scale flight test took place in 2018. However, that was not much since the 20-foot aircraft simply rose 16 feet into the air and stayed there for 53 seconds. Maybe it is because it did this entirely with the autopilot technology. General Airbus has flown about 50 test flights since, and it said was on track for a 2020 debut, but its plans might have changed. Therefore, let us wait to see what happens next. 7. Volocopter 2X. The design of Volocopter 2X is ambitious since it looks really cool. The car was developed in Germany, and it features 18 battery-powered rotors controlled via a single joystick. Although the whole thing isn't very practical, the firm made a full-size test model and ran it across the stage at CES 2018, thanks to a little sponsorship by Intel. The vehicle can carry 2 passengers. The flight time is 30 minutes at a range of 17 miles between charge centers. The intelligence work on the project includes complex tech, such as 4 independent sensor units to control positioning, 9 different electric battery packs with built-in redundancies, and even a parachute stowed on top of the vehicle in case something goes wrong. This might be the reason why it is Dubai's latest pick for its upcoming air taxi fleet. 6. Airbus Vahana. This project from Airbus seeks to create an electric VTOL aircraft that pilots itself. However, there are a lot of advantages to the self-piloting model. The car can save costs when it comes to hiring and training pilots, and software engineers already have plenty of experience creating autopilot systems for larger planes that can be applied to these VTOLs. It's also an ideal way to run a taxi service, since the vehicles automatically return to centers for maintenance or take a different route based on current orders. In early 2018, the Vahana prototype had its first successful full-scale flight test. It wasn't much. The 20-foot aircraft simply rose 16 feet into the air and stayed there for 53 seconds. However, it did this entirely with the autopilot technology. Airbus has flown about 50 test flights since, and it said it was on track for a 2020 debut. But its plans might have changed. We're still waiting for an update on this project. 5. Kitty Hawk's Flying Prototype. We were looking forward to Kitty Hawk's Flyer, and CEO Sebastian Thrun said it was as easy to use as playing Minecraft. But the project was axed in June 2020 because the company learned what it needed from it. The company is now focusing on a larger, winged aircraft named Heaviside with a 100-mile range and a 180 mph top speed. It will be able to fly over cities, according to TechCrunch, but there's no telling when we'll see it in action. 4. Terrafugia. With retractable wings and wheels, the Transition is another hybrid model designed to be equally at home on the ground and in the skies. That's not the only way that the Transition is a true hybrid model, however. It's powered by a gasoline-electric hybrid drivetrain that features a boost mode for an extra burst of speed when flying. In the past, the Transition was expected to eventually sell at $280,000, but these days, the company is refraining from providing a list price. It sounds a little bit like a pipe dream, but keep in mind that Terrafugia is now owned by Geely, a Chinese firm whose growing portfolio of brands includes Volvo, Lotus, Polestar, the London Taxi Company, a roughly 10% stake in Mercedes-Benz parent company Daimler, and half of the smart car brand. If anyone has pockets deep enough to build a flying car, it's Geely. 3. Ehang 184. The first debut of Ehang 184 seemed pretty impossible since it required a personal quadcopter VTOL that was fully automated, totally safe, completely comfortable, and powered via a basic touchscreen interface that anyone can use. To be open, it all looked like so much vaporware with a bunch of claims that couldn't be substantiated. However, up to now, Ehang is still making some pretty crazy claims. For instance, it's hard to believe the company has tested its model more than 1,000 times in all types of situations, such as gale force winds with 500 pounds of extra weight. However, there are things that make us believe that some version of the Ehang 184 will go into operation. Ehang has made it clear that each taxi will have a command center that will automatically ground the flying car in poor weather conditions, and that the models are primarily designed to fly in basic U-shapes from one port to another, which sounds much more in line with what other prototypes are capable of. However, Ehang filed for bankruptcy in May 2018. The company also called the move strategic, and the company is still in operation. It filed a $100 million IPO in November 2019, but it doesn't exactly inspire confidence. 2. Joby Aviation Air Taxi. The designer spent years working on a personal aircraft. Joby Aviation recently received a massive cash infusion from the likes of Toyota and Intel that provided $100 million to create an electric air taxi. Joby announced it's acquiring Uber Elevate, the ride-sharing giant's flying taxi unit. Joby's VTOL aircraft has a range of 150 miles at a top speed of 200 mph in December 2020. There are a total of 6 electric motors powering the flying machine, which can seat up to 5 people. 1. Jaunt Aviation's Helicopter Airplane Hybrid. This is a newcomer that teamed up with the Triumph Group to develop a flying taxi that resembles a cross between a helicopter and a plane. The industry is planning to address one of the main concerns associated with helicopters, which is noise. By using proprietary technology, the aircraft reduces the speed of its main rotor while flying to remain relatively quiet. Although Jaunt might not be a household name, it is definitely what we are watching. The firm has forged partnerships with some of the biggest companies in the business. For instance, Aviation Today reported that Honeywell will provide navigation software, flight control technology, and an electric propulsion system, among other pieces of the puzzle. So these 10 are the flying cars that will revolutionize the car industry. People are waiting early to see how it will work and how to pay for them. Although this seems somehow impossible to others, in case of success, it will be an answer to traffic jams. That is all for today. I hope this will help you. Tell me in the comment section what you think about the video. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our video. With that, I will see you in the following video.